What if I told you the secret to becoming unshakable isn't about avoiding life's challenges, but mastering them? Imagine a life where no setback, no pain, and no fear can break you. Ancient Buddhist wisdom holds the keys to this extraordinary strength, and in this video, I'll reveal 7 powerful secrets that will transform how you face life forever. The journey to ultimate resilience begins right now. Are you ready to unlock it? Lesson 1. The path of the unshakable mind. Your mind is your greatest ally, or your worst enemy. Most people spend their lives reacting to the world around them, allowing their emotions and thoughts to control their actions. But an unshakable mind doesn't bend to fear or anger. It stands firm, like a mountain in the storm. To build this unshakable mind, start by becoming aware of your thoughts. Don't try to fight or suppress them, simply observe. Over time, you'll realize that thoughts come and go, but you remain. This realization is the foundation of inner strength. When your mind becomes unshakable, you'll find clarity, peace, and the ability to make better decisions, no matter the circumstances. Lesson 2. Silence is a superpower. In today's noisy world, silence is rare, but it's in silence that the mind finds clarity and strength. The Buddha often retreated into silence to discover truth and wisdom. Silence allows you to step back from distractions and connect with your inner self. Make time for moments of silence each day. Turn off the noise, step away from the chaos, and just be still. In those moments, you'll hear the voice of your intuition, guiding you towards strength and resilience. Remember, true power doesn't come from shouting. It comes from mastering your inner world in silence. Lesson 3. Compassion builds unstoppable strength. Compassion might not seem like a source of strength at first glance. Many people think of it as something gentle or even passive. But in reality, compassion is one of the most powerful forces you can cultivate. Why? Because when you practice compassion, you dissolve the emotions that weaken your spirit. Anger, fear, jealousy, and resentment. These emotions drain your energy and cloud your judgment, keeping you from being your strongest self. Compassion starts with yourself. This is where most people struggle. How often do you criticize yourself for your mistakes? How often do you hold on to guilt or shame for things you've done in the past? Imagine carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. This is what holding on to self-judgment feels like. The first step to compassion is to forgive yourself. It's not about excusing your mistakes, but about understanding that you're human, that growth comes from imperfection, and that you deserve kindness just as much as anyone else. Treat yourself with the same care you'd offer a close friend in need. Once you've cultivated compassion for yourself, extend it to others. Start small. Smile at a stranger, offer a kind word to someone having a bad day, or simply listen without judgment when someone needs to talk. Compassion isn't about grand gestures. It's about small, consistent acts of kindness that ripple outward. Here's the incredible part. When you practice compassion, something remarkable happens. Your heart feels lighter, as if a burden has been lifted. Your mind becomes calmer because you're no longer weighed down by grudges or resentment. Your spirit grows stronger because you're not consumed by negative emotions. Compassion doesn't make you weak or vulnerable. It makes you unstoppable. A compassionate person isn't easily shaken by anger or hate. They respond to life with grace and understanding, which builds resilience. Compassion connects you with others and creates a sense of purpose, both of which strengthen your inner foundation. In Buddhism, compassion is seen as a form of courage. It takes bravery to choose kindness over anger, understanding over judgment, and forgiveness over bitterness. But when you make that choice, you unlock a strength that can carry you through even the toughest times. True resilience isn't about standing alone. It's about building bridges with others and finding power in connection. Remember, the compassion you give is never lost. It multiplies, growing within you and inspiring those around you. The more you practice it, the stronger you become, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. Lesson 4. The power of non-attachment, freedom from suffering. Attachment is a natural human tendency. We all hold tightly to things we value, relationships, possessions, achievements, and even expectations. But what happens when those things don't last? What happens when we lose something or someone, or when life doesn't go as planned? The result is often pain, frustration, and suffering. Buddhism teaches that this suffering comes not from the loss itself, but from our attachment to what we wanted to hold on to. Non-attachment doesn't mean you stop caring or give up on life. It means you stop clinging to things as if your happiness depends on them. Think of holding sand in your hand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you hold it gently, it stays. Non-attachment is learning to hold life lightly, appreciating what you have without trying to control or possess it. Why attachment causes suffering? Attachment creates a false sense of control. When you're attached to something, a person, a job, or even an idea, you start to believe that your happiness depends on keeping it. But life is unpredictable, and clinging to things beyond your control only leads to disappointment. You might become angry if things don't go your way, fearful of losing what you have, or stuck in regret over something that's already gone. These emotions weigh you down, draining your energy and clouding your peace of mind. The freedom of letting go. When you practice non-attachment, you free yourself from this cycle of suffering. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting that some things are beyond your control and learning to move forward with grace. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack everywhere you go. Each attachment, whether it's a fear, an expectation, or a material possession, adds weight to that backpack. Letting go is like removing those unnecessary items, one by one, until you feel light and free. Non-attachment allows you to enjoy life fully because you're not consumed by the fear of loss. You can love deeply without trying to control the person you love. You can work hard without being overly stressed about the outcome. You can appreciate what you have without constantly worrying about what might happen to it. Practicing non-attachment in everyday life. Start small. Reflect on something that often stresses you out. Maybe it's a fear of failure, an argument with a loved one, or a desire for a specific outcome. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to? Why does this matter so much? Often you'll find that the root of your stress is an attachment to something you can't control. When you notice this, take a deep breath and practice letting go. Repeat to yourself, I release this. I don't need to control everything. I am free. Over time, this practice becomes easier, and you'll notice how much lighter you feel. Another way to cultivate non-attachment is through gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you might lose, focus on what you have in the present moment. Gratitude shifts your perspective and helps you appreciate life as it is, not as you think it should be. Non-attachment strengthens resilience. When you're not tied to specific outcomes, you become unshakable. If something doesn't work out, you can adapt and move forward without being overwhelmed by disappointment. If you lose something or someone, you can grieve and heal without losing yourself in the process. Non-attachment doesn't eliminate challenges, but it gives you the strength to face them with a calm and steady mind. In Buddhism, non-attachment is often compared to the lotus flower. The lotus grows in muddy water but rises above it, untouched and pure. Like the lotus, you can learn to rise above the difficulties of life by letting go of the things that weigh you down. The true meaning of freedom. Freedom isn't about having everything you want. It's about being at peace regardless of what you have. Non-attachment gives you that peace. It teaches you that you are not defined by your possessions, relationships, or achievements. Your worth and happiness come from within, and no external force can take that away. When you master the power of non-attachment, you unlock a freedom that is truly transformative. You can embrace life with open hands, ready to give, receive, and let go as needed. This freedom is the foundation of unshakable resilience and lasting inner strength. Lesson 5. Turn pain into purpose. Pain is an unavoidable part of life. Everyone experiences it, whether it's heartbreak, failure, loss, or moments of deep struggle. While pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. The difference lies in how you choose to respond to pain. Will you let it defeat you, or will you let it transform you? Buddhism teaches us that pain can be our greatest teacher, showing us the way to growth, strength, and purpose. The nature of pain. Pain feels heavy, overwhelming, and unfair at times. It's natural to want to avoid it, distract yourself, or even blame others. But running from pain only prolongs your suffering. Instead, consider this. Pain is like a flame. If you run from it, the fire spreads and grows. But if you face it and understand it, you can contain it and even use it as a source of light. Pain often reveals what truly matters in life. It strips away distractions and forces us to confront our deepest truths. For example, losing something or someone you love might teach you how precious your time is. A failure might reveal the areas where you need to grow. A struggle might uncover strength you didn't know you had. How to transform pain into purpose. Transforming pain into purpose begins with acceptance. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This simple shift in perspective changes everything. Acceptance doesn't mean you enjoy the pain or agree with what caused it. It means you stop resisting it and start working with it. Acknowledge your pain. Don't deny or suppress what you're feeling. Give yourself permission to grieve, cry, or feel frustrated. Pain needs to be acknowledged before it can be transformed. Reflect on the lesson. Pain often carries a message. What is it teaching you? Is it pointing out an area of your life that needs change? Is it revealing a strength you didn't know you had? Take time to reflect. Write down your thoughts if it helps. Channel your energy. Once you've acknowledged and understood your pain, use it as fuel for action. Many of the world's greatest achievements, from art to social movements, were born out of pain. Ask yourself, how can I turn this experience into something meaningful? For example, if you've experienced loss, you might honor the memory of what you lost by helping others in similar situations. If you've faced failure, you might use it as motivation to try again with greater wisdom. The power of sharing your journey. One of the most powerful ways to turn pain into purpose is by sharing your journey. When you share your story, you help others feel less alone in their struggles. You become a source of inspiration and hope. Sharing doesn't have to mean speaking in front of crowds. It can be as simple as having an honest conversation with a friend or writing about your experience. In Buddhism, this is known as turning your suffering into compassion. By using your pain to help others, you transform it into something positive and healing, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Pain as a bridge to resilience. When you turn pain into purpose, you build resilience. Each time you face a challenge and rise above it, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. This creates a cycle. The more pain you overcome, the more resilient you become, and the more capable you are of facing future challenges. Pain teaches you to adapt, to find new paths when old ones are blocked. It teaches you patience, humility, and gratitude. These lessons form the foundation of a life filled with meaning and strength. Examples of turning pain into purpose. History and everyday life are filled with examples of people who turn their pain into purpose. A person who survived a life-threatening illness might dedicate their life to helping others in similar situations. Someone who grew up in poverty might work tirelessly to lift others out of similar conditions. Even in small, personal ways, you can transform your pain. A difficult breakup can inspire you to focus on self-love and personal growth. A setback at work can motivate you to develop new skills and pursue better opportunities. The possibilities are endless because purpose is not about the size of your actions, it's about their meaning. Finding purpose in your own pain. Ask yourself, what has my pain taught me? What strengths have I discovered through my struggles? How can I use this experience to help myself or others? These questions lead you toward purpose. Turning pain into purpose doesn't mean the pain disappears. It means it no longer controls you. Instead, it becomes a tool for growth, a reminder of your strength, and a source of meaning in your life. In Buddhism, the lotus flower is a symbol of beauty and resilience because it grows in muddy, difficult conditions. Without the mud, the lotus wouldn't exist. In the same way, your pain is the mud from which your purpose grows. When you learn to transform pain into purpose, you discover a strength within yourself that no hardship can take away. Your struggles become stepping stones, your scars become symbols of growth, and your life becomes a testament to the power of resilience. You have the ability to turn your darkest moments into your brightest triumphs. The choice is yours. Lesson 6. The value of right action. Right action is about living in alignment with your values and principles, even when it's difficult. It means making choices that reflect integrity, kindness, and purpose. In Buddhism, right action is part of the Noble Eightfold Path, guiding us to act in ways that benefit ourselves and others. When you choose right action, you create a foundation of trust and respect, both for yourself and from those around you. This builds confidence and resilience because you know you're doing what is right, even in challenging times. Right action doesn't always lead to immediate rewards, but it fosters long-term growth and peace of mind. Start by asking yourself, is this action helping or harming? When your actions align with your highest values, you become unshakable because you're rooted in a foundation of purpose and strength. Acting with integrity isn't just about doing good. It's about becoming strong enough to face any challenge with clarity and conviction. Lesson 7. The power of purpose. Finding meaning in adversity. When you have a purpose, even the hardest challenges become bearable. Purpose gives your life direction and meaning. It's the light that guides you through the darkest times. To find your purpose, ask yourself, what brings me joy? What makes me feel alive? What impact do I want to leave on the world? Once you discover your purpose, everything else falls into place. You'll face challenges with courage and rise above adversity with strength, because you know what you're fighting for. Unshakable resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Each of these 7 lessons is a step on the path to ultimate strength. Start with 1. Practice it daily, then move on to the next. Over time, you'll discover a strength within you that's greater than any obstacle you'll ever face. If these lessons inspired you, share this video with someone who needs it. And remember, the power to be unshakable is already within you. All you need to do is unlock it.